This video was not created with the intent of being viewed by an audience under 13 years of age. This clip will be used as proof of warning if YouTube or the FTC attempt to change the intended viewing audience of this following video. Hey guys, Dylan from Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to RWBY Volume 7, Episode 7. Now, before we start, I only have one little tidbit that I missed in the last week's episode, and that was 3 of the people that Tyrion killed were actually the thirsty mums. Yes, so not only did he kill the people, he made 3 orphans, unless one of them was the mother of 2, in which case it's 4, but anyway. Yeah, so also he's slowly picking off Jean's bachelor list. Yeah. No, wait, there was one more. There's a lot of discussion about Jean's semblance being the opposite of Tyrion, and that's why he was interested in him in Volume 4 and all that. It's seemingly inevitable that they will face off again. And what I want to see is Tyrion jumping on Jon's shield again like he did in Volume 4, where he just looked over the top, and Jon just activating the gravity dust and Tyrion just being pew, just flung off at like Mach 3. Yeah, that would be a great way to start a fight between them. But anyway, this episode is called Worst Case Scenario, and it's got the longest synopsis that we've seen throughout the whole of RWBY. How far would you be willing to go to do what's right? That's literally all the information about this episode we get. Just a single question. The thumbnail is Blake and Yang, by the way. But let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, that worked. I'm not gonna sing this. I may hum bits of it. I reckon this would have to be my second favourite opening from RWBY. First one still being Volume 2. I don't know why that one stuck with me so much, but top 3 are Volume 2, this one, Volume 6. Volume 3 is my least, then it's Volume 5. Was it Volume 5? No. Whichever one was with Yang on the boat, I think there was Volume 4. That's my second least. Then it would be 1-5. We're starting with Penny. It's Dummy. Oh, give her head pats.
Citizens of Mantle, following a most recent grim attack.
It's a thirsty mom.
There are to be no public gatherings of any kind. Please conduct your business and return to
I'm
your
guessing those would be the orphans.
This is for your own safety.
Hey! Stop right there! Stop running! Wait!
No military officials have gone on record to say the footage was doctored.
Many citizens are still insisting that the Protector of Mantle be deactivated.
Tyrion. Nope. Happy Huntresses.
Civilian, you are obstructing an Atlas military operation. Please step aside.
Everything all right over here?
How's the... Oh, she's the one with the invisibility. Yep. Fiona's... Okay.
This is the worst case scenario.
What
More people are
did you...
dead. Penny's been framed, and somehow Jacques Schnee is sitting on the council.
That's the second shipment for Amity that was hit today. It seems election night was the last push Robin needed to go from hometown hero to full-on vigilante.
I'm afraid the problem is more complicated than that.
It seems Robin has emboldened our suppliers in Mantle. They're refusing to sell us provisions until the city is adequately repaired. With Robin redistributing the goods her team has stolen, the Amity project is completely stalled.
But we're so close. There has to be some way we can finish the tower.
There is. Declaring martial law.
Do not do that.
You're not actually considering that, are you?
What's more important? Establishing communication to unite the world? Or appeasing a few city blocks?
Don't make it sound trivial when you know it isn't. You keep talking about how we just need a little more time, but you're not the one having to struggle.
We have all had to make sacrifices for the greater good. Mantle has had to bear a lot of the burden, yes, but...
They're bearing all of it! The longer this waiting game goes on, the harder each day gets for people down there, and now you want to send in more soldiers? You can't force people to fall in line. If you do that, you'll just be trading all of these problems for the Grim.
You're right. And he knows it.
Please, General Ironwood. Squeezing Mantle this way, that kind of division plays right into Salem's hands. That's why Tyrion is here framing you.
Right. The reason we called you here in the first place. You're sure this was the man you saw?
Tyrion Callows was accused of murders all across Anima. A homicidal maniac who escaped justice when his prison transport was attacked by Grimm. After that, he was never seen again.
Well, he works for Salem, and he's here.
If we ever had any doubts Atlas was Salem's next target, I think those are officially out the window.
But now we have a suspect. We can tell the people.
That a long-lost serial killer is loose in Mantle and the military has no idea where he is. Might make things worse before they get better.
I am
that's
so
fair
sick of secrets. If we just told everyone about Amity, about Salem.
We can't!
Why can't you tell him about Amity?
We risk Salem's forces, who we know are here, working to sabotage it. If we tell them about Salem now, we risk falling to the Grim before we can reunite Remnant. We have to finish the tower. I want Robin Hill in custody. We can offer her a deal if she gets Mantle to cooperate.
We'll figure it out.
Anyone not assisting with Robin needs to focus on Tyrion.
Crow's not okay with that.
Where he's hiding, what he's planning, and how exactly that video of Penny got all over my kingdom. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Looks like we're approaching 51st.
Thanks again for the assist on this, you two. Now we may all be split between different trucks, but we need to be ready to act as one in case Robin's team takes the bait. If your truck is hit, pursue immediately. Everyone else will move in as fast as possible. Going radio silent. Over.
I am not happy with Red in this volume, but I'm sure it'll be explained why.
Salem before he put so much on the line for Amity.
Sounds like you do.
I trust RWBY, but I think he deserves to know what he's stepping into. We all did. You don't agree.
Look around.
The embargo, the military presence, the restrictions on assembly. He's a bit prone to overreacting.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Still, he didn't have a lot of good options.
I'm not sure there are many good options left for any of us anymore. Keeping secrets, taking lives, it makes you wonder how far we're going to have to go to keep doing.
This is the opening.
Blake, we did what we had to do.
I know, but next time, I want to make sure we don't have to. And I can tell you, ambushing a huntress who's just trying to help isn't an option I'm thrilled about choosing.
Then maybe we shouldn't.
How is she doing?
She's confused, scared. We'll have her recorded visual data shortly. That should prove her innocence, but the damage has already been done. The things people are saying about her? If Penny hadn't been there, Robin would be...
I don't think Robin was their target. Salem's goal has always been to divide us. I think Penny was exactly where they wanted her. Just like at the Vital Festival.
And just like back then, someone is using our own technology against us. This doctored footage of Penny came from her work all around Manor. Stolen straight from our surveillance network.
Ugh, hacking. Technology. Oh, why can't people just do what they used to and fight to the death? A lot simpler if you ask me.
Well, if we're dealing with the same
Thank you,
enemy from
Maria.
Beacon, hacking into Manor's system would be simple. Fortunately, the rest of Atlas is running on an upgraded network.
And how would someone get access to that network?
Well, only a few people have clearance.
Ironwood.
Ironwood, Council, our cybersecurity and surveillance
Oh,
leads. Maybe a
the
select few who
council.
oversee critical systems like sewage or the heating grid.
The heating grid run in partnership with the Schneedas company.
What are you thinking?
I don't know yet, but something isn't right. Understatement of the century.
And how are you doing?
If Maria hadn't offered to help me these past weeks, I'd have likely collapsed by now. Getting a communications tower into the sky seems impossible on its own, but now, to think of what people want to do to my girl.
Even if the worst does happen, you can always reactivate her again. So maybe try not to worry so much.
There's a reason why Penny is the only one of her kind. When the General first challenged us to find the next breakthrough in defense technology, most of my colleagues pursued more obvious choices. I was one of the few who believed in looking inward for inspiration.
You wanted a protector with a soul.
I did. And when General Ironwood saw her, he did too. Much to my surprise, the Penny Project was chosen over all the other proposals.
Why would you be surprised? You created an artificial aura.
Not quite.
No.
You gave her part of yours?
Yes. And each time I rebuild Penny, it takes a little more. If the people get their wish and she's destroyed, I won't be able to...
We'll find whoever's responsible. I promise.
Robin,
Scramble!
No, wait! Split up and regroup at the hideout!
please stop. We just want to...
If Ironwood wants me,
He'll have to send more than a couple of kids.
He is. Stopping the trucks alerted the Aesops. We don't have long before they arrive, so please listen to us. You need to know the truth.
You're stalling.
Amity Coliseum, all these supplies, they're for a new communications tower.
That doesn't make any sense.
A new tower means the kingdoms can
I know
finally—
what the tower means, fisticuffs. One of you take my hand.
What?
You said time is short. Either take it, or I'm gone.
She always does have a finger.
Tell me again, what is Ironwood building out in the tundra?
She's got a truth
A
thing.
new communications tower. He's trying to help everyone.
You're telling the truth.
Handy semblance.
Why keep that a secret?
Because he doesn't know who he can trust. Atlas isn't out to get anybody. The people murdering civilians in Mantle are just trying to make it look that way. And if those same people learned about Amity, they'd do everything in their power to destroy it.
So who are they? Who's actually behind this?
Yang, Blake, where are you?
We can't tell you that part yet.
Bullshit.
Look, we are trusting you, so trust us when we say that Amity Tower needs to stay a secret until it's done. We just need a little more time.
Bullshit.
We'll throw them off.
I won't stop until I know the whole truth.
We know. The general doesn't even know the whole truth.
It's right behind that door.
The relic.
The Staff of Creation.
I hoped bringing you down here might jog some memories. After all, it was your
Interesting.
idea to use the staff to lift Atlas off the ground.
I thought gravity
Huh.
dust kept Atlas afloat.
That's the public story. But with the staff, we have a constant, seemingly limitless energy source. Oz once speculated it could take us as high as we wanted.
So,
To tell you the truth, that served as the inspiration for the Amity Project. Get a communication tower up in the sky, higher than the Grim can survive.
if you put the stuff
So
on
everyone's contacting
Amity,
each other again.
it'll be.
But you're not using the staff to raise Amity.
The staff can only be used for one purpose at a time. We're going to have to do Amity the old-fashioned way, dust and all.
It feels strange, knowing a part of me helps come up with all this.
You'll get used to it, I'm sure. Eventually, you won't even know who's who anymore.
Right.
No, this looks a lot like
We
the
did know we see eye
ancient
to
god
eye,
things from
but
the
I wish I could
Greek
ask Husband what he thought of all this.
Assassin's
I can tell you
Creed.
what I think.
The
The
Isu
path you're heading down,
monuments.
where you're the only one with the answers, where you do the thing you think is right no matter the cost. It's not going to take you anywhere good.
It's exactly what Oz did.
We have to stop Salem. Nothing matters more.
Some things matter more, I think. Keeping our humanity. It's what makes us different from her.
Sometimes I worry that's her greatest advantage. Without
That's fair.
humanity, does she still feel fear? Does she ever hesitate? When Salem hit Beacon, even with all my ships, all of my soldiers, I was no match for her. I've never felt so helpless. The way she told me she was there.
James, do not get rid of your.
It's okay to
You
be
have to
afraid.
get rid of your soul.
You just can't let that fear control you.
I am not going to end up like Lionheart. Do you believe in me?
I do believe in you. But not only you. I think the best thing you could do is sit down and talk with the people you're most afraid to.
Now you are starting to sound like him.
This is a heavy episode.
Winter, What is it?
What's going on?
It looks like you're getting your wish.
My father's first act. We've all been invited to dinner, where the general will be defending his seat on the council.
I knew that was coming, but... And that's the end of the episode. Yep. Well, this is hitting different. Oh, I haven't felt like this since Volume 3. This is worse than Crow being poisoned. And he's my favorite character. Oh. Robin, let's just go through what we now know that it is the blue-haired chick who has the invisibility. It seems to be an invisibility bubble. I can't remember names right now. Sheep Girl, she can seemingly shrink or teleport items by putting her hand to it. And she sort of wrapped around her aura around it and just... That's why I think it's more teleporting than shrinking, because it seemed to go in segments. And... oh, Robin. She's got a truth. She's got a truth semblance, which we've needed for a very long time. See, so semblances can be seen. Well, aura can be seen when it's projected like that. Like how they saw, what's his name? Penny's father. When they saw his aura flicker, they, like it was visible. So, theoretically, if we were to, and Penny has a soul, she's got aura, so Robin should work on her. That means, because her thing can be, her semblance or whatever it is can be seen, the link that looked like an unbreakable bond from Harry Potter, but if that can be seen, then that means if she were to go on like news or something and just with okay, I'm getting back in the funk. I've probably said more than I should have with this idea, but looks like there may be a new video coming out the Friday after this is released. Okay, gonna have to... Anyway, now that this revelation has picked up my mood a little, I reckon now's a good time to, well, sign off. But before I do, I just want to say, Ironwood really needs to not go down the path he's seemingly going down. He's either going to turn into Oz with the amount of things he keeps from people, giving them what he thinks they need to know to get the mission done, which, yeah, Ruby's doing the same, but as I said, the distinction is she will tell them when the time is right. And I mean, he says he's going to tell the world about Salem. But Mantle's not going to be any better after Amity's launched. So, what's to stop him from putting it off again, and again, and again? Well, everything's just getting worse and worse, and he's keeping it from the world. And also, another way he's seemingly going down is an attempt to remove his humanity. Now, that was a very dark look for a hero to have. And, well, humanity is basically another way of saying that it's linked to the soul. The type of soul a person has is the type of humanity they show. I don't want to get into all auras like that because I don't like talking about the like all the mystical stuff, because once I start talking about it I get into a funk of maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But anyway, humanity is linked to the soul. So if he's going to get rid of his humanity, or attempt, he will have to get rid of his soul. Or at least find a way to block it. In which point, A, he's not going to care about people, which means what's to stop him from either signing up with Salem or just letting Salem destroy anything, because he's not going to care about the people anymore. And secondly, I forget the point where I started from this. Removing or suppressing the soul. Oh yeah, he's not going to have, if he can either remove the soul or suppress it, he's not going to have access to a semblance, if he even has one. I'm assuming because he's the headmaster and head of the military, he has a semblance. We haven't seen it yet, though it could be how he was able to fully integrate the half machine in him. That could be, and why he was so strong even with his non-robotic arm against the Alpha Beowulf. But he's not going to have any access to a semblance. He's not going to have any access to an aura, which we know he has. Again, Headmaster, Hunter, I almost called him a Huntress, and General. He's bound to have an aura. So, he won't have access to any of that if he removes his humanity. And, I'm just going to jump through. Seems to be a small breakthrough with Robin, which I'm happy. I don't like the way this, the website just autoplays. Ah, yes. It starts off very dark, which, is to be expected with how the last one ended. Okay. Nora's finally talking to giving Ironwood a 1-2 because, well, she knows what it's like to be in the situation of people on Mantle. Long before she met Ren, she was an orphan, living on the streets, oppressed by people who were better off than her. Even people her own age were belittling her. And then Ren came along. Part of this is leading into why I don't like Ren this volume so far. And, well, I might do a video on why, going more in depth, but after Kurayuri, he knows the exact same feeling. Because there was a time when they were both on the streets in Anima before they came to Vale, where they homeless, likely oppressed, living off scraps that whatever they can find. Yeah, so why he's so willing to help Atlas when he knows what Mantle is feeling is also probably why Nora's upset with him. On top of the whole him being emotionally constipated. But anyway, Yang reckons they should tell Ironwood. Fair enough. Well, I agree they should have told him from the start, but yeah. Blake's expressions throughout the exchange were very interesting, and the choice words that Yang used. I'm not saying she's anything like Adam. They do have their similarities, the way that Gaston and the Beast had their similarities, but they're on different ends. It's more like a Venn diagram with the whole intersecting central bit. We found out Pietro, that's his name, Pietro. He, Penny's soul is his. And Maria's been helping him out, which we sort of gathered because neither of them had been seen except for with each other. I thought it was strange that when he was first showing the picture and all that he was covering someone's head, but then we saw it was Watts, and I'm actually interested to see if the other three in the photo, it's just the other three, so this guy, and this girl, I wonder if they're either still around, and if they are, whether they'll be making a appearance. Because I'd like to see the four of them go up against Watts. Just like a group of old people versing it out, two opposite computers, just like who can hack the others first. I reckon that'd be real funny. Then of course there's a whole scene where, look, if you're chasing someone with the intent to talk to them and come across as non-threatening, maybe trying to catch them in a grapple hook is not the best way to go about it. Or, dropping down on them screaming from the rooftops. I am glad that these two had this, that Young and Blake had the sense to talk to Robin, to tell her. Because, look, you tell someone the truth, you're doing a good thing. They will likely help you if they're actually concerned about the people, which she says she is. And when she found out they were telling the truth, had they told her the whole truth, she would have signed on right there, probably. And now on for the last thing I'm going to talk about this video. Finding out that the stuff of creation, I keep trying to say stuff of knowledge, but the stuff of creation, it is able to, well, not able, it is able to, but it is the thing that's floating Atlas. Probably why they have the chains, because gravity does the floating islands between Atlas and Anima. They weren't chained down, but they weren't, well, I mean, they were floating back and forth, but they weren't trying to go up, which is why you would chain something down as much as Atlas is. But yeah, I reckon. I know it would take a whole lot of dust to keep an area that big off the ground, but it would be much safer and less tempting if they use the stuff to float Amity up outside the atmosphere, because dust stops working once it hits the upper atmosphere. Once it passes through that, it just... So, if the staff can take it as high as they want, if they get it outside of there, A, the Grims will never be able to reach it because they seemingly need, well, as far as we know, they need air. Same as people, they're living creatures. And don't know if Salem would be able to, like, would get to it, but no one with dust or wings or anything would be able to get to it. So I reckon what you do, you take Atlas down to the same level as Mantle. A, that'll get rid of some of the disparity, and also probably cause a coup, but oh well, probably deserved. Anyway, you do that. You then you put the Relic of Knowledge and the Staff of Creation. You put that on Amity. You float it up to the upper atmosphere. Don't break through yet. You get the Sword under Vacuor. You get the Diadem under or around Beacon. You bring Amity back down. You put those two on Amity. You send that shit up into space. Or even better, you send Salem up into space. Just fucking... And she's gone. There we go. Problem solved. I mean, seriously. It'd actually be funny, just like, get the stuff, just stab it through her. Shoot. Straight up into space. And, well, I mean, yeah, she'd be able to take it out. And who knows whether or not she'd be able to actually pierce the atmosphere, or what she'd be able to do once out in space, whether she'd even survive. But yeah, or like trap her in a magic bubble thing, so like Steven Universe, and just flex tape the relic onto the outside. She can't pierce the bubble, and just there we go, problem solved. And that's how RWBY will end. Anyway, this has been some late night sleep deprived rambling. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.